And you know, money, I'm a believer that if you don't have money and you can't pay your bills and you can't fulfill your desires and you can't take care of your kids, money will make you happy to a point. But it's not sustainable. It's not, toys at the end of the day are very shallow joys. You know, once you meet your basic needs, you need more to feel fulfilled as a human being. You need to feel good about yourself. You need to feel like you have purpose. You need to feel like you're doing good things for the people around you, like you're making an impact. This business cultivates that. You can't have success unless you cultivate that. And you have so much guidance to do it in. And the other thing is, we do no harm. Yeah, people can waste their time, perhaps, but they're not going to lose any money. You're not going to get anyone to write a check they can't afford to write. This is revolutionary. And this is the wonderful, the home-based business model, in my opinion, is the best model that exists in business anywhere in the world. And I'll tell you why. Because if you take out that part where you're asking someone to pay money, knowing that 70% of them won't get it back, when you take that lack of integrity, that element that barely skirts the Ponzi laws in the United States, you take that out, I'm not kidding, it does. I mean, Herbalife's in big trouble. I mean, there's companies now in big trouble because of exactly that. If you take that out, then think about what you have left. You have a pyramid, you know, and everyone says, oh, pyramid scheme. Well, you know, guess what? Corporate America is a pyramid. You know, chairman of the board makes money on everything. You know, the people underneath them get bonused or make money on the people underneath them. It's a pyramid. But in corporate America, mediocrity at the top half the time won't let great people, even after 20 years, rise to where they deserve to rise to. The organizations are peppered with management that has character defects sometimes and punishes good people and rewards jerks. I mean, everybody's shaking their head. You know, wow, I've hit a chord. What a surprise. Well, now look at our model, and you will be amazed. Same pyramid, perfect, and I mean perfect meritocracy. What do I mean by that? You do the job, you get the bonus. You do it well, you get the promotion. Nobody's standing over your head keeping you down. Everybody is trying to uplift you. But we've got to have the vision. We've got to believe in what we're doing. And we have to believe that we can't have this dream robbed from us by people who don't understand the difference of what we're doing and how we're doing it from experiences they've had or family members have had. It's very different. It's very, very different. And we have to get excited about that. We can change the world as far as opportunity that we're bringing to the table. There is $35 billion product moved in the United States every year from network marketing. 35 billion. As an industry, it's made more millionaires than any other industry in the world. It's an opportunity in its best iteration, not to have a job, part-time or full-time, but to literally own a business within someone else's business while they're taking all the risk, you know, doing all of the, you know, heavy lifting. And it's an opportunity to have something that you're building for the future. And to have income that's residual income, which is what separates business owners from employees. That's the big separation. Even lawyers. I used to envy lawyers and doctors when I was an uneducated young adult. You know, my father was a cardiologist, and I've been supporting, he passed away 25 years ago, I've been supporting my mother ever since. And I don't want to digress on that. My father was a wonderful doctor, didn't charge half his patients, so it was a problem. But the fact is, whether he charged him or not, and whether your attorney makes, you know, $500 an hour or $800 an hour, once he owns his own firm, how many hours are in a day? You know, how many hours are in a day for anybody that doesn't duplicate their efforts? This is an opportunity to do this. I mean, it's unbelievable. This is an opportunity in an industry that's exploding, in an industry where every single person you meet needs the product. And this is on, I don't know, 9 o'clock in the morning on day one, 75 million people in our footprint that use our products, and only 14 million of them have chosen to use it from somebody. I mean, this is amazing. The opportunity gets better and better, and of course, we're putting, trust me, I mean, you turn around 24 months from now, you stick with us, there'll be other products, there'll be other elements to this business that don't exist now. It gets better and better and better and better. I mean, anyone that's been around for a while isn't going anywhere because they've seen that. Yeah. They've seen missteps, they've seen all kinds of things, but they know there's integrity at the top. They know that for a fact. They've worked with me, they know my family, they know our corporate office and who I've hired, and there is not a hint of anybody or anything about this business that can't be trusted. Now let me go back to something I find really interesting and entertaining. I've had in the last couple of years our conference room full of people almost once a week flying in from all over the country from other companies that have heard about what we're doing. And I would say a good half of them have been million-dollar earners, at other places. When they first started coming in, of course they trooped me in to, do my dog and pony show. And I expected, as most of you would expect when you first go into a situation like that, what would they have an interest in hearing? They want to know the comp plan is better than the comp plan that they left. They want to know the product's easier to sell. They don't have any interest in that. Because the people that have been really successful in this business, comp plan, schmomp plan, they'll make anything work. They can sell any product or make the system work. They're not concerned about that. To a man and a woman, every single one of them is focused on one thing: can I trust you? Are you going to shaft me like I got shafted more than once? Every single And I've been thinking to myself, why is that the case? There's so much money for the owners of businesses like this to make. I mean, particularly when you're charging $300 or $400, or you have an auto ship where people have to pay $500, $1,000 a month, and you're selling them products you pay peanuts for. I mean, there's a ton of money in here. Why do they do that? Why do they have comp plans that people don't understand? That the most successful people get punished when someone underneath them that they've worked hard to elevate reaches their rank. I mean, Brad Tales can tell you a story when he was a chief operating officer of ACN of a heartbreaking story. A woman quit her job, got her husband to retire, was making $150,000 a month, didn't understand that when the person she worked with attained her rank, she dropped to $30,000 a month. Now that's still a lot of money, but it didn't pay the bills that she got. She didn't understand. And that's the way they work. That's the way so many of these companies work. And you don't have to understand our comp plan real well to know that can't happen here. Because we straighten these things out. Now, I've been trying to figure out, and only a few weeks ago did I recognize the biggest difference in the world. Why do we have integrity? Why do people trust us? And why do these other companies say they have, but they don't? Think about this. If you are the owner of a company, you know how things work. You know the stats. You know how your comp plan is structured. I'll tell you something you know. You know that 80% of the people that write the check to join your company are not going to get that money back. The chairman of the board, the CEO, the president, the head of sales all know that dirty little secret. And they also know that the worst thing that could happen to their company is that they figure out how to get more people getting that money back. Because their model won't work if they do that. Now, how do you build a company with integrity when you're starting there? How do you build that? You don't, And so these models are flawed from the start. They're not worth supporting. So most of the people that come in and visit us join. And it's a very exciting thing because what we have is precious. It's revolutionary. It's going to change the face of this industry. And it already is. We already have people that have had competitors in our space that have had to reduce what they charge coming in. But unfortunately, they can't bring it down to nothing because the people that paid would be a tad upset, wouldn't they? So we have a beautiful, beautiful thing in a beautiful industry. And you have management that is dedicated to your success. I mean truly dedicated to your success. And you have a business now that is 4 years old and incredibly successful. I mean, we have had tremendous success. We have tremendous support financially. Everything is there for you to build upon and succeed, you know, as much as you choose to succeed. And even if you don't succeed, hang around with us for a while. Come to meetings like this, because there's one thing I love to talk about. Even somebody who hangs out with us for 2 or 3 months, brings in 5 people, never makes a penny, but comes to these meetings, learns something that's going to make the rest of their life better. They learn how to enroll people in their vision, in what they want them to do. Their enrollment skills get better and better and better. And you guys have heard me say before, life is an enrollment game. You want your kids to clean up their room, you better be good at enrolling. You want that date with that wonderful other person, and you want them to ask you out again, in the case of women, you better be good at enrolling. And you want the promotion, you better be good at enrolling. We are enrolling people all day, every day, in one way or another in our vision. So if you just hang around long enough to get better at that, your whole lives will be better forever. And that's what I love about this model. You can't point to anything that we're doing here that isn't positive. I mean, you know, we don't even talk about Mission to Millions very much anymore. But every time you sign somebody up, you know, $1 a month is getting donated to charities. We've given away, you know, $1 million, more than $1 million at this point. And the amount keeps growing and growing and growing. And the people that have built organizations underneath them, big organizations, they can count the people in their organization. They can count the money they're making. They can also count the people, their customers, and say, oh my God, I've driven $15,000 a month in and month out to charity. Literally, you're donating that. You're responsible for that. This is what I'm talking about bringing the light into your life, about being involved in something that makes you feel better and better and better. But we can't spend a lot of time with people that are going to drain that energy. You know, I believe we should spend some time, you know, you hold up the torch. That's what you do. You know, if you're holding up the torch, you're not responsible for the people that are, you know, deciding to look the other way and stumble in the dark that, you know, they don't have to stumble in. But we just have to hold the torch, you know, and give our message and move on. You know, this isn't for everybody. I mean, it just isn't. It doesn't have to be. But it's a wonderful opportunity, and it's a wonderful way to make your life better in every way. It's not easy. Believe me, it's not easy. I know how much rejection, you know, there is. But if our orientation becomes about helping the other person, then the rejection is not really very personal. When the orientation is all about my ego and what I want and how that person's going to make me feel, then it's like, it can be devastating. And I know, because I've been on both sides of it. You know, I know how it feels to be, you know, attached personally to every single thing, interchange I have with someone else. And so I can hear 10 wonderful things about myself and only listen to the one negative thing. I mean, you know, that's something that gets cultivated. That negative tendency and so many others gets cultivated out of our systems, you know, just simply working this business. So, you know, I've rattled on and on and on, and I just want to tell you, the future is fantastic. North American Power has never had more success. You see some people come into your organization every day. You know, anyone that's been around with us is looking at their back office and saying, where did these 500 customers come from? You know, in the last 48 hours. I mean, things are really moving along here, and they're going to get better and better. We're getting more innovative. We're coming out with more products. We're moving into more areas with gas. It's really exciting if you knew what everything that was happening at the corporate office. I also, just a teaser, and I think within a couple of weeks, I'll be making the announcement official. This company has always moved along like your businesses do, based on the quality of the people that we bring in. I mean, I hired somebody named Taft Shamler one time. I have such a conviction and a deep understanding of what a talented person can do that I will hire someone and have no clue what I'm even going to have them do. No clue. When I hired Taft Shamler, who had been the managing director of the largest consulting firm in the space, and incredibly well respected and admired. I hired him, I sold him the vision. I was uncomfortable when he first walked in because I couldn't tell him what I wanted him to do. But I knew one thing. I knew that he was going to tell me what I needed him to do. And he was going to do it, and he was game-changing. Bill Kinnery was game-changing. Well, I just made another hire like that. And it's going to be a very, very senior person on the management team. And this fellow has credentials, you know, I mean, I said to him the other day on the phone, I'm not lying, I said, I got to tell you something. There's only one thing that I have serious doubt about you with, and that's the fact that you've decided to join North America Power. I'm seriously questioning whether there's something about your resume I'm not seeing, because you should be at running $1 billion company, and you're going to be excited when you get to know this fellow. It's another incredible person on the team. So everything is so exciting. I mean, I think you guys can feel it. I hope you can feel it. It's a great business to share with your friends. You don't have to, you don't have to twist their arms. You don't have to be a pain in the ass and call them every 5 minutes. Just gently and just give them the invitation. Just ask them to entertain the invitation. And that's all. And if they like it, they like it. If they don't like it, move on. I mean, there's no shortage of human beings out here, right? I mean, frankly, there's too many of them on the roads. So, that's my message. I got to tell you, I love standing up here and sharing with you guys. I feel like nothing is more uplifting for me than bringing the light into this room. Nothing is more uplifting, and I thank you for that, because I get to do this on a regular basis. I get to look out and see the expressions on your faces, and it's like eating. I mean, it's so nourishing for me, and it's so inspiring to be sure that I am always there for you, that I am always the person that you can trust. I can't imagine, swaying or moving off of that path. It would kill my soul to not be that person for you. And I'll tell you though, I can't promise, what the weather's going to be like. I can't promise what, we're going to be dealing with in the business. There's really only one thing I can promise from the bottom of my heart, and that's that I'm going to operate with integrity, that I'm running a company that's going to operate with integrity, that you don't have to look behind your back, and that you can introduce people and bring them into this room, and you'll be proud that you did, and they'll be happy that you introduced them to the people involved in this business, whether they decide it's for them or it isn't. Thank you very much.